Well, hello everyone. I'm Luis from LuisRevere.com, and I'm here doing another little. I'm saying another because a few minutes ago I just finished doing a video about the Golden Globe nominees. But I don't know. Maybe I'm in the mood to talk a little bit today. So I'm gonna try to. I don't know. I thought to myself, what could I talk about? And basically, what I decided was to talk a little bit about my rock and roll books. I've shown you vinyl, I've shown you, I think, movies and all that, but I wanted to go a little bit about some books that I have. Most of them, or all of them minus one, are Beatles books. But I haven't done like a review, and I'm not gonna do a separate one on each one of them. And maybe this video would only last like 10 minutes, maybe. But anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit and just share about a few of the books that I have. And the first one I'm gonna start is a big one. I mean, big one because it's like this. It's a Bob Dylan book, and it's the story behind every track. Look at this. It's the story behind every single track. It's a good book, and since Bob Dylan is such a private man, I mean, I think it's one of the few artists who is really hard to find interviews. And even though I think this is maybe interpretations, or maybe some research, and maybe he took a Dylan quote here and there, but I'm not saying this is Dylan's voice going through every song. But it's interesting enough, you get the stories behind from this first record, actually, until I think this one gets together through life. So I think it doesn't get Tempest. And it also covers a few of the soundtrack songs like Things Have Changed, Hawk's Tune. Let me see if it gets to Tempest. Yes, it gets to Tempest. So it's actually the only album lacking would be Rough and Rowdy Ways. So it's interesting. So you get a little bit of history from the album. I'm gonna try to show you. It's a hard book to show because it's really heavy. But you see, you get nice pictures. You get a little bit of things behind the lyrics. Slow Train Coming. You see, you get the title and some history of the recording notes and some things like that. It was a long book to read, but actually it was really interesting. And if you're like me, I mean, I'm interested in going. Of knowing what the artist maybe was thinking when he wrote a particular song. And this book, if you're a Dylan fan, it's a good choice. It's a good option to actually find that out, or at least get a little bit more info on the tracks where Dylan was inspired. Some songs are based on traditional arrangements where he just took a little few ideas. So it's an interesting book. I think it's a very good thing to have for any Dylan fan because it covers his whole career. And that's the first book I wanted to share. Bob Dylan's The Story Behind Every Track, the author is Philippi Margodin and John Michael Gussom. And I think it's available on Amazon. I think I bought it, or my sister actually, she was a gift. She actually bought it on Amazon. So it's available right there. So now I'm gonna leave my favorite books. I'm gonna leave it for the end. I'm gonna go a little bit. Let me move them. It's really heavy. So this one, I bought this because I was told that this was like the essential book to have on the Beatles and their time in Abbey Road. This is a book that is focused on their recording career, and it's very interesting. I don't like the way that Mark Levinson talked about George at times and the other Beatles, but it's an interesting book nonetheless. It gives you very, very details about what they were doing on Abbey Road, whether it was mixing, what they were doing, what they were playing, what they were recording, who was there, who was not, and it covers the whole career until the last session for maybe I think it was Let It Be and I'm in Mine. And it has a nice interview at the beginning by Mark Levinson to Paul McCartney, so that was interesting. It has cool pictures on it too. You see, you kind of get a few things. You know, I know you're not going to be able to see the words, but it's an interesting book. I haven't. I think I read it once, and I need to read it again. So I'm gonna, but it's a good book. This is written by Mark Levinson. It's the complete Beatle recordings on Abbey Road, and it's a good read. It's a good read. I think I was disappointed a little bit, like I said, because of a few of the things and the way he expressed himself sometimes. But that was just me. That's not like a definite bad thing. Let me check something out first. Don't go. I forgot one book. The Beatles, A Hard Day's Right. This was also a gift from my brother, from a brother of mine, and it's a story behind every single song the Beatles recorded. Now you get on the other book is the technical side. It's more of the recording aspect. Here is the author, Steve Turner, maybe kind of going through the history or interviews for the band, gives you an idea of what every song from every album means. And it's interesting because you even get Real Love, Free as a Bird, from the anthology, so that was good. Live from the BBC. It's a good book full with good pictures, very interesting anecdotes on the songs. I think it's a great book to have. So you kind of because I think the Beatles were open about their inspirations on the songs, and this is a good book to actually read and to actually get every single song and get a little bit of history around it. So it's a good option. It's called The Beatles, A Hard Day's Right with W, right instead of The Hard Day's Night, and it's a good book. I actually really enjoyed reading this one. So now I'm going to move on, and I'm going to move on to John Lennon's Imagine. This is a book that covers the recording period of John Lennon's masterpiece, Imagine. So you see it has a lot of pictures on it, and it has stories on the people involved. Like for instance, they talk about Phil Spector, George Harrison, all the people who were involved in the making of the record. You get also a lot of pictures of the times, a lot of articles, a lot of things that provide insights on the period where John Lennon was writing Imagine. So this is a good book. I actually got it because I couldn't get the ultimate version of the Imagine record, which had a book, but the book in the CD, I don't believe is the same as the one here. So actually, I think having this one is actually good if you are really want everything to do with the artist. I think this is really something good to have, and it's really interesting. It has a lot of cool pictures on it. Has the lyrics of the songs, a little history of the songs also. It has a lot of things. That's Phil Spector. There's a picture of John. I don't know if I can show it to you. There you go, a picture of John. So this is a good book. And in the same spirit, I also got the Plastic Ono Band book. Basically the same concept. It's just a book covering everything from the period up to the recording of John Lennon's first solo record. It has a cool drawing. This is one where they were playing live on Toronto. So it has a lot of, again, cool articles, cool pictures, very insightful things about the artist involved, like Ringo, Klaus Borsman. This picture is nice. You get Ringo, John, and Yoko. So it's a good book. I actually also read it. You get Ringo talks about the process of the album and his experience in making the Plastic on a Record band. So it's a good book. I think Yoko also allowed us to see very intimate, and when I say intimate, I don't mean anything bad, just home pictures That's what I mean. Really, maybe pictures that were meant for them. Nothing bad, just cool pictures of them relaxing in their home, which I think was great. I actually enjoyed seeing those pictures. They also have cool pictures of them when they were younger. They even have pictures of the Beatles days. So it's a good book, John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band. Basically, just talking about the making of John Lennon first album. So the other two books that I'm gonna get into, of course, this one is really recent. The Beatles Get Back, and this provides a very good complement to Peter Jackson's film. And basically, this is a transcript of the dialogue during the recording sessions. Some of them appear in the film, others appear in more detail here, which is interesting. The pictures are beautiful. I mean, the pictures. Some are by Linda Eastman, others are by Ethan A. Russell. I think the book just has a lot of value because of the pictures and the dialogue, the drama behind everything that was going on while the Beatles were recording Get Back. So this is a good book. I actually loved it. I believe it's it has that thing over it, but it has it on the cover on it. I think I did a video review of this book. Has a foreword by Peter Jackson, and like I said, the pictures just make this book so much worth it, and everything. I read it really quickly, so it's easy to read. It's not long. It's not really long in terms of the reading essence, because this is a dialogue. It's not big paragraphs. And my favorite book is a little. I could have taken a little bit better care of it, but it's the Beatles anthology, and it's my favorite book because it's the story of the Beatles told by the Beatles. Has a lot of pictures in it. It goes by year. It's very honest, very detailed. It has new interviews that were made specifically for this project by Paul, George, and Ringo. Of course, John couldn't make it. I mean, he already passed. So we get archives of interviews that he made, and he made a lot of interviews. That's one good thing about John. John was very open, and he did a lot of interviews. And this is a definite book to have if you are a Beatles fan. The Beatles Anthology, great book. I think it's still available in Amazon and all those places if you're interested in buying it. So anyway, this was a short little video, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about or share about the books that I have about. I'm gonna say rock and roll, but it's about the Beatles, and one by Bob Dylan. I think that's the books that I have. I don't think I have any other books regarding music artists. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. Remember to subscribe or check out my webpage, and stay safe. Happy holidays. Talk to you later.